G'day folks, Jim here from FX Charts, Tuesday the 14th of January. Thanks for tuning in. Well, it was really all about risk aversion today following Friday's poor non-farm payroll reading. And this comes ahead of the important December retail sales later on today. The Aussie, the yen in particular, Aussie and Kiwi all took advantage of the move, and they all strengthened, reversing their recent weakness. The euro and the Swissy were pretty much sidelined. Sterling headed a bit lower. That was really on the back of the follow through from Friday's weak industrial production data, and also there's some concerns over the asset and liability split up of what happens when, if and when Scotland goes through its devolution process. There's a vote in September on that, and that's causing some uncertainty in the market as far as cable's concerned. And if we're going to have a look at the charts, the euro, let's start off with the euro. That had a pretty choppy session really. It's traded pretty much between sort of 136.40 and 136.80 today. Hasn't done an awful lot, so there's no real change in the outlook. As you can see at the moment, it's heading up towards its highs of the day. But if we go further out on the 4-hour chart, there's no real direction. Now, weak retail sales later on this evening could change all that, and we could see the US dollar come under some pressure. The 4-hour indicators are mildly positive, not really showing a great deal, but if we can head higher, then I think we may see a test of 137.20. If we go back to the hourly charts here, the pivot up here is at 137.20, and above there we go to 137.60, 65, somewhere around there. But that remains to be seen, and I think really does depend on what the outcome of the retail sales looks like. Further out the dailies, not really telling us anything at all. They're pretty flat. So overall, I suspect we're going to have more choppy sideways trading, and as long as we stay above sort of 136.30, 40, I think the sideways move will continue. Eventually, as I've said before, I do think we're going to see a downside break, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen today. So I wouldn't expect too much from euro. Dollar yen's a slightly different matter. As we can see, having spiked higher after the non-farm payrolls, it's been a one-way street to the downside. Now we're currently hanging on around this 103 level. It has broken low. It's been down to 102.85, and it's coming back here. This has been support here. This 61.8% of the whole move up, but it has broken. The hourly charts are showing some minor bullish divergence, so I wouldn't be getting too bearish down here. We're going to have a look at the 30-minute charts, and they're backing that up, and we've got quite a steep minor downtrend resistance, which we're just breaking above at the moment. So if that continues higher, and the divergence suggests that it could do in the short term, we might get a squeeze up to 103.5. Now, it was a Tokyo holiday yesterday. They're back today. So you would have to think that corporate Japan is going to have a chance to buy some dollars down here in a level that they haven't really seen for a month or so. Hasn't been down here since sort of early December. So maybe we do see some bids. The 4-hourly charts are oversold, and the stochastics look as though they want to turn a little bit higher. But in the longer term, I think rallies are probably selling opportunities. The dailies are still heading lower. So I think if we were to see it, go back here to the 4-hour charts, if we were to see this 103.5, 104 area, I think I'd be a seller. I don't think we're going back above 105 for the time being. Sterling, well, that had a tough day at the office. It fell quite sharply. It got up to, actually I will go back, yeah, it got up to 165 and change early in the session, fell quite sharply down to 163.38, I think it was. It's back up, but now it's 163.80. Now the hourly charts do show that this move is it's a little bit overdone, and we might need to see a bit of a correction back towards sort of the 50% pivot here. That's at just about 164. I'm not sure we're going back much back above there at the moment. The 4 hourly charts are heading lower, so it looks to me as though rallies are probably sell opportunities, and the dailies, as I've said before, they are beginning to build downside momentum, and if we can break this trend line, which we've had a go at, then we might head back down here to this sort of 162 3/4. This was the top of what was previously the channel. If we go and look at the weekly charts, let me just blow that up a bit. The white lines are the previous weekly channel that we were trading, so we might come back and test the top of that. But ultimately, I think probably sterling will eventually have another test at the top side, and we could have it back to this 166 area. Above that, there's resistance, previous resistance levels at 167.5 there and above, but they're looking a long way off at the moment. Dollar Swiss. That didn't do an awful lot today. It's weak. The dollar is weak, and it's broken down below 90. It's trading near just above its lows at 89.85 was its lows. Euro Swiss has weakened slightly for the 4th day in a row, really on account of the Swissy being a safe haven play, much like the yen, the Aussie, and the 4 hour charts are actually looking as though they've got some more downside. I bought some dollars up here late last week. I've stopped myself out down around here, so it doesn't look very good to me at the moment. So we might have a bit more downside. I'm looking for a run now back down towards sort of 89.60 area, and below there we could go down to sort of 89.25. If we do have a bounce, well, I think we're 90.5 is probably the resistance for the time being. Above there would change the outlook a bit, but I don't think we're going to do that today, at least not until the retail sales, and they'd have to be a pretty strong reading for the dollar to bounce up back above the trend line. The Aussie had a pretty good day at the office. It's looking a little bit soft at the moment, but nothing dramatic, really allowing the hourly charts to unwind. The 4 hourly charts, though, they're still positive. They might be topping out, so you need to be a little bit wary. But the dailies continue to look pretty good to me. And now that we've broken above this, what was previously resistance, now supported around 90.35, that 90.35 to 90.10 area should be pretty strong. And I think if we do get a weak retail sales number tonight, putting pressure on the US dollar, then the Aussie will have another leg higher. The targets, the immediate target would be around this sort of 91. Well, we've got to get above 91 first. 90.85 was the high overnight. We get above 91, then sort of 91.70. This high here was 91.67 back here. So that 65.75 area is going to be pretty tough. But I do think that's the possible direction for the next couple of days. The Kiwi, well, that's as we can see, I mean, it's been trading in this 82, 83 range for quite some time. As we can see on the hourly charts, having had a spike lower, it's a reverse, and it's made new highs late in the US day, and it's come off a little bit, but it's been up to what, 83, 85, 87, something like that. The 4 hourly charts positive. RSIs might be coming a little bit overbought, as the stochastics are turning a little bit lower, so we might want to chop around here for a little while. The hourly charts, as we can see, have become overbought and need to unwind a little bit. But the dailies do look as though they're picking up some momentum now, and we might see over the next few days, we might see a bit of a move to the top side again. Once again, it's the US retail sales that are going to provide the catalyst, so wait and have a look for those. The expected number is plus 0.1% for December, so go with whatever the reading comes from there. Elsewhere today, we've got the UK CPI and PPI, so that'll give cable a bit of a bounce or otherwise. And in Australia, we've got the Westpac leading index, so that'll provide the interest in the Asian session. But keep an eye on the yen and also the Nikkei, which might come under a bit of pressure today following the sell-off in the US equity markets. So that's about it for today. Have a very good day's trading, and we'll talk to you tomorrow. Cheers.